G'day team, my name's Tony and welcome to episode 2 of the Gunbarrel Highway, brought to you by Wild Trait Leisure Australia and the mighty Overlander. It is a chilly morning here, about 50 kilometres south of Sandstone in Western Australia, and we are still tracking northwest towards Wiluna and the start of the Gunbarrel Highway. Time to cook up some breakfast. It is a little bit chilly this morning, not as cold as it was yesterday morning, thank God, but I'm going to be cooking myself up a nice bacon and egg roll, and I'm going to start the day as best I can. Stay tuned guys, there is so much content that's going to be coming out your ears. Great shots today, and we're going to be stopping about 50 kilometres up at Sandstone, grab some fuel, and then we're going to crack on for the rest of the trip. I'll see you soon guys in the car. Looks so good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the breakfast of champions. Alright guys, so we're just making the turn off from the main drag into Sandstone. We're going to go grab some fuel. This is pretty important for us at the moment. I think the cars are at about a third of a tank at the moment, so yeah, we'll hopefully get plenty there. Now we're going to have a couple more of the Jimnys about to pass behind me here, so you get to get a bit of an idea of what the guys are looking like. The cars are pretty dirty, so yeah, we're going to get into town now and hopefully get all that important fuel. Guys, so everyone's quickly getting the fuel at the Sandstone fuel station over here. So let's have a look. And everybody lined up. Jimny's galore getting that fuel. So let's go see what the fuel price here is in Sandstone, eh? Hopefully they're not completely sucked dry by the time they get there. $1.94 for unleaded. for. Not too bad. I think with the fuel prices going down in recent times, it's actually helped out a little bit, which is really good. So yeah. Alright guys, well look, we're going to get fuel here and then we're going to get back on the road. All right team, it's always good to have a plan B. Looks like the fuel station here at Sandstone is having a few technical difficulties. So luckily I've thrown a couple of 5 litre jerry cans, so 2 5-litre jerry cans on the roof. Now we're going to throw those in and get back on the road, and I believe the next fuel stop's going to be out in Wiluna. So this should be more than enough to get us through. Always remember guys, have yourself a little plan B. It's going to be definitely what's going to get us out of this little pickle, but yeah, definitely. And a nice little tip, 2 5-litre jerrys are much easier to handle than 1 10-litre jerry. Righto team, so we're back on the trail now, and we have just hit the first lot of pretty heavy corrugations and rough road. The red dirt's pretty dusty up here, so as you can see, it's pretty full on. But that being said, we had a couple of little issues regarding fuel over at Sandstone. That meant that we've now had to use our emergency fuel that's on the roof. So I was carrying about 10-12 litres of fuel on the roof. That's given me a range now of about 200 k's to get into Wiluna, which is about spot on. So it might be a little bit touch and go there, but I reckon that we can make it. We just need to be you know, cognizant of our fuel usage and not surge too much, and I reckon we'll make it just fine. So far this morning, so a little bit of a hold up. We were actually hoping to already be in camp for the next night and have a bit of afternoon fun and maybe even get the footy out, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be that smooth. So about 200 k's to go, which means we've at least got 2 to 3 hours before we make camp, which means we're looking at probably another, you know, 2:30, 3 o'clock camp night. If I can, I'm going to try and get some decent meals on the cook tonight after we do our filming. So I reckon tonight feels like a garlic steak night, I reckon. So I'm going to cook up a garlic steak with some little grilled herby spuds and probably some grilled up carrots and some boiled up peas. Meat and 3 veg, there you go. Alright guys, we're going to continue on, and yeah, hopefully we make it to, I think, oh yeah, look, yeah, I'll shit it in. Yeah, we'll make it in there, that's fine. I've got over 200 k's of range now, so she'll be right. Alright, we'll crack on. So after a failed attempt to get fuel over at Sandstone, we've made it all the way to Wiluna to get fuel, and nobody ran out, so that was fantastic. Now, Wiluna is pretty much dead smack in the middle of Western Australia, and at the last census, there's only 720 people registered as living here. But as you can see by the sign, this is where we make our eastward turn towards the Gunbarrel Highway, and we're only 1,400 k's away from Ayers Rock, so that's absolutely fantastic. It's going to be great to finally get through there and see Uluru in all its glory. Alright guys, it looks like everyone's got their fuel all sorted, so we're going to crack on and get to the next campsite, which isn't that far out of town. Alright, there you have it guys. We've made it to the night 3 camp and officially started the Gunbarrel Highway, which is absolutely brilliant. Everyone's in one piece, all the cars are in one piece. There's a couple of guys that got here a little bit earlier. They're all set up, they're ready to go. So this is absolutely fantastic. You'll see all the Jimnys coming in together, which is absolutely great. And it's time to find myself a nice little patch of paradise here to make my own for the night. Not a bad drive today. A few little rough corrugation spots, nothing too crazy, some really beautiful scenery, some very interesting changes in the road condition all the way through, so that was really good to see. But for the most part, guys, it's been absolutely brilliant, and hopefully tonight brings some pretty relaxing times and also some pretty good food, because I had one of those boil up jobs last night and I wouldn't mind cooking myself one of those steaks that I got in the fridge there. All right, guys, look, I'm going to get cracking, but yeah, I'll see if I can find my little campsite for the night. All right, team, so here we are for night 3, Gunbarrel Highway trek. This is the Vincenti? Hey, Chris? Yep. Is this called Vincenti's Pool? Yep, cool. At Vincenti's Pool, which is our 3rd night camp. And this is going to be my little patch of paradise. I've already started putting the awning up and getting the stretcher out and everything like that, because it is actually quite warm, even though it's the middle of winter. It's the further north we get, the hotter it's getting, which is, pretty obvious for everyone at home, but it is. It's quite warm. However, the overnight temperatures are still getting pretty cold, so I'll make sure that I've got all my sleeping gear and everything like that. Now, the big difference that I've found so far is that the flies are getting more and more friendly the further north we get. So today they're absolutely shocking. Yesterday they were a little bit on song, but today they're really hanging around. So I've got a half a dozen of them in my car that I've got to chase out before the morning. Yeah, look, I'm going to get my campsite set up. And then tonight I'm going to cook myself something good. Last night I had one of those just add water meals, and to be honest, it was actually really good. It was like a honey soy chicken or something like that, and that was actually brilliant. But the other thing that I'm doing, so you can see here that I've got my side awning on this side rather than over my swag. So it's dry as a bone out here, so I don't need it over the top of my swag, but I do want a bit of privacy because I stink. I'm going to have a little shower tonight, so I'm going to get the little bucket out. I'm going to heat up some water, and I'm going to give myself a tubs. So, and there's going to be absolutely nothing in the world better than a good shower, nice warm shower, feeling clean, and then having a good night's sleep. So it's going to be another early one. But before we do that, after we get all this set up, we're going to be shooting some product demonstrations and stuff for Wild Track, which is pretty cool. So make sure you check out those guys when their stuff starts going live on YouTube. So which is going to be after the trip, obviously, because we've got to get back and edit it all. And this will be after the trip. I'll be probably at home and warm in my own bed by the time you're actually watching this, which is fantastic. But yeah, it's good. It's really good. I mean, the trails and stuff today, they weren't insane or anything like that. There was a couple of pretty heavy corrugated spots, but nothing mental. And I think the really heavy duty kind of stuff's still to come. We're officially on the Gunbarrel Highway after 3 days of driving, and now we're about 1,400 k's from our destination, which is going to be Yalara and Uluru. I'm very much looking forward to that, and I've never been to Uluru, so this is everything that you see is genuine in regards to my experiences and everything like that, because this is a first for me. So yeah, cool guys. All right, look, I've got to get stuck into this before I start losing too much light. It is now 4:30. Now it's going to start getting darker here at night and lighter here in the morning because we're moving further and further east, but we're still on the same time zone as the Perth Metro. So, and because of how wide Western Australia is, we're actually going to start losing a bit of light in the evening and gaining it in the morning. Yeah. All right, team. Now, I know you're probably not interested in the showering habits of a middle-aged YouTuber. However, this is my little shower setup. So it's just one of these little jobs here with the little submersible pump. One of these bad boys. I'm just going to drop that into a bucket. I've got a little bucket to stand in just there, and it actually clicks into my awning pretty well. So I'm just going to kind of sit here and give myself a rinse off. Happy days. I'm very much looking forward to cleaning up because I am going to feel $1 million after that for sure. Alright team, so I'm all showered up and I feel considerably better considering we've been out on the road now for 3 full days and this is the 3rd night. So it is time to make myself something really nice for dinner. I'm going to go with a garlic butter steak with some boiled up peas and carrots, and then I'm also going to chop up some potatoes and do like a cubed up little potato fry up as well to throw in there as well. All right, so pretty easy to go. Now, one of the things I've mentioned before and I've started doing is vac sealing everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is start boiling up some water, and once that I've got that on the boil, I'm going to get this steak going so everything kind of finishes at the same time. And then I'm also going to cube up these potatoes and then throw those in with the steak so I can kind of get all, it all mixed up and throw some seasoning and stuff in there. All right, so give me 2 minutes and I'll get this water on the boil. All right, team, so that water is starting to boil there. Now I'm just going to move on and open up these packs here and throw myself in some peas. Yeah, throw them all in, why not? I'm hungry. Actually, I'm starving. And not the potatoes, the carrots. So I pre-chopped a lot of this stuff when I was at home before we left for the Gunbarrel. Because I had to take more food than I normally would for the kind of what are you calling your smaller trips and stuff that I've been doing that you've probably seen before, it just made it a little bit easier to have everything kind of pre-prepared. Okay, now in regards to these spuds, so they're pretty much washed already. I'm just going to cube them up pretty small, so that way I can just cube them up relatively well. That way I can just kind of have like little nuggety looking bad boys, and that way it's nice and easy and I can kind of fry them up as they go. And I'm going to put them in first to get them going with a fair bit of oil so I can kind of get a bit of a chip kind of thing for me. I think I might only need the one spud. Yeah, I only need the one spud. Yeah, that's plenty. He's only a little fella. All right, let's get that one going. I'll probably put a bit more oil in there, why not? And once they're kind of looking all right, what I'll do, I'll throw the spring onion in there with them, and then I'll hit it with a little bit of garlic and herb salt, and that should make them taste amazing. And I'll even throw a little bit of normal butter in there as well. Okay. How good is this Coleman? Just burns up a storm. Little drinky. So today was pretty full on, and I'm, look, this is one of the biggest trips I've ever done, and it's certainly the biggest group trip that I've ever done. I mean, 38 people, and trying to get 38 people together to actually do what you want is pretty, it's a bit of an ask, to be honest. All right, let's start frying these bad boys here up. Make sure I get them all in the thing. Throw a little bit of this herb salt on them. There we go. Nice and coated. Once they start to soften up and brown, then I'll be able to put those to one side, and then I can also do the steak in the same pan there, so I don't need to have like 7 pans going all at the same time. So the main group's off to one side. They're having a bit of a party over there. Not really my style. I'm just going to keep to myself tonight.
These days are huge. They are. They're really big. And the big thing with them is that, you know, for the guys that are doing the filming and everything like that, it's a lot going on. So yeah, it's pretty full on. Get those going. So this episode's going to be today, tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night. And then we'll be cracking into episode 3 of the Gunbarrel Highway trek, where we'll be actually kind of getting deeper into the actual Gunbarrel itself. And then depending on how it goes, I think we're hitting Yulara on the 27th. So we've still got 6 days to go. So we've still got two full episodes after this one. And then once we get to Yulara, that's where I'll be meeting up with Ronnie Dahl again and Torbs, and we're going to be doing a bit of a chat about the trip, and that's going to go on to 7 Mate, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. So make sure you check that out, because that's really exciting. Okay, I'll get that ready in a minute. Start softening those bad boys there up. These won't take too long. This Coleman unit really puts out a fair bit of heat, so I'll just let them fry up for a little bit, and then we're going to crack onto that steak. Alrighty, so the potatoes almost fried up, ready to go, and the peas and carrots are all boiled and ready to rumble. So it's time to move on to the favourite part of my meal, the steak. Alright, so we'll take this one. Push that over to one side. That's ready to go. Oh, they look great. Alright, turn that off. Go. Now it's going to suck some of the oil out of that, and then we've got the garlic butter to go on with it. Oh, that garlic butter smells amazing. I think I'm getting a little bit of a blocked nose actually. I sound a bit snuffly. I'm probably butchering this steak, but you know what? I'm in the middle of the bush, and I don't care, because I'm starving, and I can eat my own head at the moment. Alright, that steak's almost done, guys. I'm going to get tucked into my dinner. The next time you'll see me will be in the morning, because we're going to be getting ready to actually hit the Gunbarrel Highway proper.
Oh, she's a bit chilly this morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 4 of the Gunbarrel Highway, and the second day and night of this episode, actually. So I'm going to cook up some bacon and egg rolls for myself and the camera crew now, and then we are going to be doing a little bit of shooting with regards to some product stuff for Wild Track. Then it's time to pack up camp again and get straight back on the road, and because we're on the Gunbarrel proper, we'll be shooting east as fast as we can and making our way towards Yulara. So at the moment we're camped out about, I think it's about 35-ish Ks out of Wiluna, so that's absolutely sensational, and the campsite itself's actually quite big. There's like a little watering hole thing down over the other way, which is quite nice, but for the most part we're kind of secluded over here away from the main group. Yeah, it's really enjoyable actually. I had a really relaxing night last night, managed to finally get that shower in, which was amazing. I feel much better after that. I swear there was something scratching around my campsite last night, and there's a couple of holes that weren't here in the morning, that like little, I reckon might be, I don't know, dingo holes maybe, I don't know. Yeah, dogs or something, like, yeah, there's a couple little holes and stuff like that scattered around the place that weren't here in the morning, so last night, and they're here now in the morning. Yeah, so look, I'm going to get stuck into these bacon and eggs, guys, because I'm absolutely starving, and we have a huge day ahead of us. So especially when it comes down to these kinds of trips, making sure you get a good breakfast in is pretty important, because you can actually, you know, be on the road for quite a long time, and sometimes you miss out on like a decent lunch and all that kind of stuff. So a good old breakfast is key to that. I think it's about 6 o'clock now, so we are going to probably be on the road in the next 3 or 4 hours by about 9:30, and then we'll be kind of shooting down the Gunbarrel from there.
All right, there we go, guys. Camp 3, day 4. Let's do it. I am bloody knackered already.
Now, if you're after a nice, relaxing kind of camping experience, don't do the Gunbarrel Highway. Now, this is a fun adventure, but you know, it's bloody hard work. It really is. All right, let's go. Now we're going to zip back into town. Myself in the camera car with Chris and Jacob, and Dave. We're all going to quickly zip back into Wiluna. Hopefully, I'll get an opportunity to get some phone reception there. Check in with the family, and then after that, on to Carnegie. All right, let's get it done. Alright team, so we're coming up towards the Princess Ranges, which are about 5 or 10 k's ahead of us. There's been a wide range of different road conditions, sometimes heavy corrugations, sometimes not too bad, but for the most part the guys have been quite spread out to make sure we avoid those inevitable windscreen chips. But some really nice scenery, and we even had a beautiful eagle that came above us, and that was huge. So we're going to continue on now for a little while, and then maybe it's time to pull over and grab some lunch. Alright team, so we've just pulled off the Gunbarrel Highway to Mingol Pool, and this area has been used by explorers and stockmen alike for the last 100 years plus, and the actual waterway itself terminates over at Lake Carnegie. We'll probably be here for about 10 minutes or so, just have a bit of a rest before we crack onto the campsite, but it's amazing to see how full the waterway is, and it seems that it's actually home to quite a few things like turtles and all sorts. So yeah, beautiful place, absolutely stunning. We're going to get back on the road pretty soon, and then we're going to crack on straight to Carnegie Station. That's where we're going to be making camp tonight. Alright team, here we are at Carnegie Station. We left Wiluna at about 9 o'clock this morning, and we've been travelling east pretty much non-stop on the Gunbarrel Highway all day. We had a couple of little stops for some filming and stuff like that, but we've been on the road all day. And I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more proud of this little beast here. It is absolutely eating it up. It's been great. So the roads have actually been pretty bloody good all the way to Carnegie. So it's more what happens after this. There was a mishap with one of the lads' trailers, I believe, so I'm going to find out what happened there and I'll let you know later on. However, yeah, it's been a huge day. I'm going to get the campsite set up, and as an added bonus, I just found out that I don't have to cook tonight because we are eating over in the main like mess hall thing that they've got over here over at Carnegie Station. So they've put the barbecue dinner on for us tonight, and that is going to be absolutely outstanding. So yeah, coming towards a close of day 4 of the Gunbarrel Highway trek. It's fun. It's tiring though. Anyone that's ever thinking about doing a big, you know, multi-week cross-country kind of thing, make sure you're prepared. It's not that I wasn't prepared for this, but I certainly underestimated it just a tiny bit. Yeah, it's much tougher. I think it's because of the filming stuff. On top of everything that we've been doing, the filming stuff's been, yeah, it's been next level. But it's been really fun and I'm learning so much. I'm so glad that I've got the camera crew here because they are teaching me and just an absolute ton. They're actually up at the moment with the drone getting some really cool footage of the station. So hopefully I'll be able to share that with you guys as well. And yeah, so really cool. All right, time to set up camp, guys. Righto team, so we've finally arrived at Carnegie Station and I'm here with Brendan, the station manager. Brendan, great to see you, mate.
No worries.
So can you tell me a little bit about Carnegie Station?
Carnegie Station is 340 k's northeast of Wiluna.
Yep.
In the Northern Goldfields region. We run roughly 5,000 head on 1.2 million acres here.
Wow.
Yeah, and that keeps us busy. We're mustering at the moment or starting in the next couple of days. And yeah, that keeps us busy for a couple of months.
Fantastic. Now, this is also a stop for tourists like myself coming through with some groups. Now, is this the largest group you've had come through for a little while?
It's up there, yeah. It's we've had big groups, but this is definitely up there.
Yeah, fantastic. What do you reckon of all the Jimnys coming through?
It's pretty cool because we used to muster with some little Suzuki, so these ones are a bit flashier than ours, but they're bloody good. Righto,
thanks very much for talking to us, mate. We've been on the road all day, so we're very much looking forward to dinner. Hopefully we'll see you inside for a beer, mate.
Sounds good.